What rights did slaves have under Roman law? What rights did slaves have under Roman law? This question takes us back to the heart of the Roman Empire during the Pax Romana, a time of relative peace and stability. Slaves in ancient Rome were classified as property, not as individuals with rights. This classification meant that their lives were entirely controlled by their masters. They could be bought, sold, punished, or even executed without any legal protection. Under Roman law, slaves had very few rights. They could not own property, enter contracts, or marry legally. Their existence depended entirely on their masters, who had absolute authority over them. This included the right to inflict corporal punishment or exploit them sexually. The law treated slaves as non-citizens, stripping them of basic human rights. However, during the Pax Romana, some changes began to emerge. As the empire expanded, the number of slaves increased, and the need for stability became apparent. Limited legal protections were introduced. For instance, slaves were allowed to file complaints against their masters in cases of extreme cruelty. Although this did not guarantee their safety, it marked a shift in how slaves could seek help. Slaves could also retain small personal possessions. This was significant because some used these possessions to negotiate their freedom. The law required sellers to disclose any physical defects in slaves during auctions. If a buyer discovered undisclosed issues later, they could seek compensation. Manumission, or the formal freeing of slaves, offered another pathway to rights. Once freed, individuals gained Roman citizenship but remained tied to their former masters through a system of patronage. This meant they had to provide ongoing service or financial support. Even as freedmen, they were not entirely free. Their former masters retained some legal claims over their labor. Despite these restrictions, many freedmen found ways to thrive in Roman society. They often surpassed their patrons in wealth by engaging in trades or professions. This dynamic created a controlled method for social mobility, aligning with the Pax Romana's focus on stability and order. In summary, while slaves in ancient Rome had minimal rights, the Pax Romana saw the introduction of some legal protections. These changes allowed for limited avenues of freedom and integration into society, albeit within a framework that maintained social hierarchies.